Welcome back. It's exactly 1 week before the country goes to the polls in the local government elections. Political parties pulling all the stops to ensure they can secure their positions and win over more voters. But are they doing enough? Many communities are still complaining about the same issues, such as lack of service delivery for months or years even. In some areas, residents don't even know who their councillors are because they've never there. Our reporters this hour, Pule Letshwiti-Jones, Aviwe Mtila and Mawande Keswa are in different parts of the country checking up on communities. Let's go live to them now for the latest update. First up, we're going to go to Umlazi in Durban, eThekwini, before we head on to the other parts of the country. Mawande, good afternoon to you. What are you finding out? What are the sentiments on the ground just like a week to go before the local government elections? What are the residents of Umlazi saying?
Good day, Braden. Well, there's a lot of dissatisfaction. There are a lot of grievances that are coming in the way of the residents of the city of eThekwini, particularly the ones that we've spoken to today reside in Umlazi, where we've spoken to some off camera as well as some on camera. And really, the one thing that stood out that they spoke to us about was the lack of service delivery. One of the issues was that while there is refuse removal, it is too inconsistent. Some days, refuse is being collected in the early hours of the morning at about 8 a.m. Some days, such as today, it is being collected after midday, just after 12. And between the morning and 12, the streets are filled with those rubbish bins with an unpleasant smell. And they say that they would prefer a situation where refuse gets collected in the early hours of the morning. Another issue is sewage and stormwater drainage systems, which are an Achilles for the eThekwini municipality because that infrastructure is quite dilapidated and not performing in its optimal state. They say that for years, over 6 years, in the end section in Ward 82, there's been an issue where the drainage system is not working. The stormwater drain there has not been working for over 6 years. And I recall speaking to the eThekwini municipality about those issues in the past. They've cited that one of the issues is people throwing rubbish on the grounds, and then when there are rains, that clogs up the stormwater drainage systems. So community is having an issue with that. Another issue is sporadic power cuts. Whether there is load shedding or not, the power would go off at any given time. And that's one thing that they also echoed, saying that they don't get any explanation to this. They wake up in the morning to prepare for work, boom, there are no lights. And the issue is exacerbated further when there is load shedding. One of the other issues that I'll also touch on is the issue of water supply. You would think that it's only rural areas such as Adams Mission that have such issues, such as Umbumbulu, such as Ilovu, but no. Residents in Umlazi as well say that they have had issues where every day without fail at about 7 p.m. there would be no water. One resident we spoke to going as far as saying that there was a house that caught fire and a child died there because there was no water for them as a community to try and assist and douse that flame. So these are really some of the issues that they have spoken about on this part of the country. But let's take a listen to my colleague Pule and hear what are the sentiments where he is at this moment.
Well, thank you very much, Mawande. And I'm here in Lichtenburg in the northwest. This is the very same area which was sparked by protests just about a month ago due to the fact that residents were raising concerns around a councillor candidate, which was fielded to represent them as part of the ANC. And now we know that we've been tracking some of the National Executive Committee members from the party as well, such as the likes of Obed Babela, who came to this community about a month ago, promised that there would be movement in terms of accelerating service delivery. Well, fast-tracked to today, and there's still nothing that has been done. So we're just going to talk to residents for now, quickly, before we show you the outcome of what has been going on here. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. Now, the ANC has promised to come and assist you. the Local Municipality as well has come to a promise to assist you, but that hasn't been the case. We are seeing sewage spillages here, a horrible stench and smell that's affecting residents, and especially during COVID-19.
Yes, what you can see, we are living in a place that is like a home for pigs. They don't no longer take us as people. They take us as pigs. We don't have no longer a government that say it's a government for the people. It's a government for their own pockets. That's all.
How long has these problems been persisting for here?
It's now more than 28 years that we have been living like this. We have been living like we are pigs, and we are not pigs, we are people. It's time for these people to open up their eyes and to hear our voices. When they start doing this to us, what are we supposed to do? To go to the four-way stop to go and strike again? And now, at the moment, they are killing us. We don't no longer have time to go to the four-ways to go and strike. We want our voices to be heard. We want our people. We want our right candidate to be on the list. They have disappointed us for long. Now on the moment we choose our guy who is going to go and represent Bladeville as a whole. But now on the moment they are coming with the tricks. They want us to go for another 5 years, which is going to be 33 years living under this.
All right, thank you very much. All right, just due to time, I'll have to come back and throw to my colleague Aviu, who's going to showcase his, some of the problems that are affecting some of the residents where he is right now. But those are some of, these issues that have been raised here, including about 8 toilets that were built for $250,000 and still haven't been used, just as you can see on my right-hand side here, built next to a sewage spillage, and there's like electrical cables running around and usually kids playing around here. But I'm just going to go to Aviu, who's going to be showing us how the living conditions are in his area as well.
Okay, thank you very much. There, Aviu Mtila, you are in Ginsburg.
Yes, but in Ginsburg location in Buffalo City, the home of Stephen Bantu Bonke Biko, where you'd expect that the leaders here would live up to those values of serving selflessly. But it seems like that's not the case. Community members that I've been speaking to on the ground here speak of the inconsistent electricity supply. But aside from that, the biggest headache is around the meter readings. They say that they pay exorbitant prices that do not match the amount of electricity usage that they have. And when they raise it up with the municipality, those calls fall on deaf ears, basically. Another issue in this particular area that I am is the inconsistent water supply that's currently plaguing this particular area. But aside from that, it is the issue that's plaguing Buffalo City in its entirety, and the issue of the candidate lists being manipulated. This ward, Ward 39, that issue has occurred here, where the ANC candidate, we understand that won the vote from the community, was replaced by a person which we do understand was fourth on the list. So there are those issues that are plaguing Buffalo City in its entirety, but more especially in Ginsburg location, the home of Stephen Bantu Bonke Biko.
Okay, thank you very much. There we have the situation on the ground in parts of the country. Aviu Mtila in Ginsburg, and Pule Letshwiti-Jones in Lichtenburg, and Mawande Keswa, the Umlazi in eThekwini. And we'll continue to focus on other parts of the country. Our reporters finding themselves in different areas. Just about a week to go before the local government elections next week, Monday, the 1st of November. So in this hour, a little bit later on shortly, we'll go to other parts of the country. Also, as we gauge the sentiment on the ground ahead of those local government elections from the residents themselves, what are the confidence levels about what their councillors are doing or not doing for them, and are they hopeful about the future?